You hear that, guys? Quiet as a pin drop. Well, so quiet you can hear a pin drop because we're in the middle of the turn. What happened in Michigan and the prospects of Pennsylvania, we're in the middle of the turn. So, Barack Obama decided he wanted to have a conversation with the Atlantic. Now, the Atlantic has been around since the 1800s, but one thing we've covered on this channel various times is how the older the institution or the outlet, the more susceptible it is to the wokeness and the nonsense and the feminine and the gynocentrism, because we got to put all of these ladies in these places. HR, everything has an HR department. So President Obama sat down with a writer from the Atlantic. He's still hopeful, and he had like three key points that he had were highlighted here. So I want to go over these 3 points just to keep the video somewhat concise and really get to embellish on the points that I've done so many Obama videos in anger that I just want to be very, very frank and clear in this one. So, one, on Donald Trump as a phenomenon, I will say that I'm not surprised that someone like Trump could get traction in our political life. You shouldn't be, Mr. Obama, because you yourself were a celebrity in chief. You were an entertainer in chief. You grabbed the media and the entertainment industry by its cojones and just pumped it all out. For lack of a better term. I mean, think about it. Like, what's been since Obama's left the White House, right? Like, who's been a big hit? Like everybody that that they're boosting are names that we aren't particularly familiar with, and then the names that we got familiar with, such as the Chance the Rappers and the Kendrick Lamars, of his era, like they've kind of gone. I haven't heard much of them. He's a symptom as much as an accelerant. But if we were going to have a right-wing populace in this country, I would have expected somebody a little more appealing, like you. You would have expected someone like, because you, sir, are the definition of appealing. You're a well-spoken, charming individual that, can lie directly to your face and gaslight you into thinking that, oh, he didn't lie. He just didn't mean, like, what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't all on him. No. There's so many other people that we can toss that blame on to, huh? I mean, here's the thing. And this is why I feel that this is a matter of masculinity versus femininity, because masculinity would rather have the harsh truth as opposed to a pretty lie. But the feminine, being our polar opposites, they like the pretty lies. The pretty lies are very appealing to them. They just want to believe. And unfortunately, there's this thing called reality that we have, and it eventually comes back to smack you in the face. That's why we end up with so many women who look up 20 years later and like, oh my goodness, where did the time go? What did I do with my life? When in reality, had they just taken that time back then and looked at it from a realistic standpoint, they would have grown into what it was that they felt like they've missed. I think that's the best way to put it. On Republicans refusing to stand up to him. Okay. And I've covered this in the Curry video, where it's like, dude, they're Republicans. They're on the same team. Why would you expect them to stand up to him? Like, that's not, like, it's so, it's why I believed in the controlled opposition theory, because, like, it's not your play. Like, as a Democrat, like, as a Dem, I'd be like, no, that's a Republican. Let's worry about what we got going on over here. Go team us. And like, not, hey, why aren't you chastising that other guy over there? Like, chastising their guy to chastise their guy. Like, no, that's ridiculous. Donald Trump's character and behavior hasn't surprised me. I didn't expect him to significantly change. Really, no one should have, and it's been for the best. I mean, he seems like an honest dude. right? Far more blunt and straightforward than Brock, who liked to just, dance around things until, your feet got worn out and you sat down. That was Barack's entire thing. I did not believe how easily the Republican establishment, people who had been in Washington for a long time and had professed a belief in certain institutional values and norms, would just cave. Dude, you're like and these same people, when it comes to talking about you, sir, would say how you were impossible to get in contact with. How what was her name? Susan Rice was the one who could always who was like a buffer between you and any bad news or information that you just didn't want to hear. And so to sit here and talk about like the norms and institutional values, which one as just human beings would be, discussing things and trying to come to an amicable terms, you refuse to, take calls, my guy. So it's really cut it out on misinformation. If we do not have the capacity to distinguish what's true from what's false, then by definition the marketplace of ideas doesn't work, sir. When like your homegirl Oprah is the one mainly pushing that your truth nonsense. Um your entire I guess aura or appeal is like coming from a very specific truth that runs counterintuitive to the basics of reality. That's the way it's been. Like, oh, well, there's your truth. No, it's not your truth. It's the truth. And as we are patiently waiting to see what comes of the November 3rd election, it's just a little disheartening to see this man continue to be oblivious, like completely oblivious. Back when Michelle Obama said the whole grab guns and God's thing, I always felt like there is like she wasn't wrong. Like there's a truth to that, but by addressing that truth as, oh my goodness, as it being somehow terrible, was like that runs counterintuitive to this country, if we're being 100% real about it. Because yeah, people have their faith, and that faith is a big part of the reason why we are so, like, as a nation, not individually, because every individual has their own experiences that they've gone through, but for the most part this country is about, like, rocking hard with each other. And instead of, and it just, and I knew you wouldn't, but it's been 4 years, and to see, exactly what Trump was talking about when it came to the manufacturing and bringing opportunities back here for, for our brothers and sisters to be able to maintain themselves, take care of themselves and their families. It's a concept that, your entire side has long abandoned. Oh, well, we ain't getting those jobs back. Yeah, you should look depressed in this painting. You really should, because you fucked up. So, guys, with that being said, we're going to bring this one to an end. All the internet stuff. If you liked it, toss it a like, dislike, go ahead, do that too. Nobody's scared of you. Sub. If you enjoy my fantastic voice and you want to get videos like this every single day, share, because sharing is caring. And YouTube and Bitchute and like aren't the biggest fans of your boy over here for very obvious reasons. Bang the bell for notifications. Get something from Teespring. Check me out on Patreon as well. Links in the description. And speak. Let me know. What do you guys think in the comments? It's sad that, that we basically have to say screw you, dude. You were never one of us. I don't really think, like, charming. Yes, on paper, yeah, you can be an American. I mean, because we're a very open club. But when it comes to the values, when it comes to, the a lot of the basics of this country, decency, being good to one another, a lot of those things, that's folks get it from that same Bible that your wife decided, no, it's not worth the shit. Like, even like at some point, even atheists will have to admit that due to faith and belief systems, we've been able to maintain this hypocritical stance that we have as a nation. Either ways, guys. You may disagree, and that's what my comment section's for. Until the next one.